Alright, so I want you to go ahead and listen to Mermaid Man's voice here.
Huh? What? Oh, yeah, it's that sponge kid. Now, what was I supposed to tell you?
That sounds nothing like Mermaid Man. That just sounds like your generic old dude, you know? So, unfortunately, and no offense to the guy who did this, but it's not Ernest Borgnine, not by a long shot. And it's a shame that they couldn't get him to voice in the original game, because Mermaid Man, Ernest Borgnine as Mermaid Man is fantastic. You can keep going.
No, I wanted to point something out first.
What?
Look at his little pants. Do you see the little sunglasses smiley?
I see it now that you pointed it out.
Yes.
Oh
You're
my
welcome.
God.
You are welcome. Also, what is going on with his neck?
Oh, no. I think...
Well, if
Are you
massaging your
skipping
feet
it?
will save
I didn't
Patrick,
mean
then
to.
massage I must.
Help! They're making me hit myself!
No, Patrick, that's just because you're suicidal.
Massaging your feet isn't working.
I used to
think
love
I'd better
that one.
try a more direct approach.
by clipping my toenails?
Here I come, Patrick!
Look at his tiny little hand.
Yep. Alright, so this
Kiki.
this next section is going to introduce you to the sliding sections of the game.
Ew, with this. I miss those shiny objects.
So this is the sliding sequences. The sliding sequences are like my favorite thing ever. I used to love the sliding sequences in the original game. They were so much fun. So much fun. I would play these things over and over again every time I found them.
That was a ton of
And in
See?
fact,
Look.
I should do
Oh,
it
shit,
again
that was
sometime.
okay, so that you did not get the other teleport box up at the top. So we are not able to
Yeah,
go
I
back
did.
up. No, you didn't, because if you did, you'd be able to go in it right now. So we're not going to be able to get back up there, unfortunately.
That's.
Which means you're not going to be able to get the sock that is up there, but we will be coming back to Jellyfish Fields again later on in the game, so we'll just get it then. It's no big deal. So this right here is actually different because the original game had a cinematic cutscene, but this is basically going to introduce you to your first quote-unquote gauntlet, where you basically need to destroy the 3 Duplicator-trons and press the 3 buttons so that you can make the platforms rise up and get to Patrick. So yeah. There you go.
Alright, I got this.
This is also the quote-unquote battle music of the game. It shows up in gauntlets like these, which, you know, it's a really catchy song. It also is for a level later on in the game. But
Why do you
we
say
won't see that for a
gauntlet?
while. It's a gauntlet. That's what it's called. But, yeah, so you got one of the 3 machines, so you've only got 2 more to get. There you go.
It shines. Just my size.
And that's 2. So make sure you press that button. And again, remember, as you were, but just as a reminder for the audience, you want to stay away from those Duplicator-trons once you break them because they will explode and hurt you. And thankfully, one thing I can compliment this over the original is the knockback, from what I've seen, is nowhere near as bad. Because the knockback in the original game, especially when it came to the rocket throwing robots, which we'll be seeing in downtown Bikini Bottom, oh my gosh, the knockback off of those things was abysmal. It was so bad. And I even showed off like a really, really bad example of it in my video. But yeah, definitely the knockback hasn't been improved immensely in this version of the game, so I'm definitely appreciative of that. But you just got the final platform, so you're good to go ahead and keep on keeping on. Also, another thing I wanted to point out is that the textures for the sliding section were actually bluer, kind of the purple rock that we see right here, except it was a little bit more
Hey,
blue.
SpongeBob.
Thank goodness.
Well, of course, SpongeBob.
Fuck!
Why
I'm used to button mashing.
Well, the robots and the...
Oh yeah, I found this for you. I don't know what it is, but it looks important.
Thanks, Patrick. I tell you what, all that running around has left me pooped. Why don't you continue on for a bit?
Okay.
Okay. So now you get to play as Patrick.
Doesn't he do like the belly flop thing?
Yeah, so if you want to go ahead and show off Patrick's moves, Patrick actually got a move added to him in this game that wasn't in the original. What you can do is, if you go ahead and yeah, get rid of that first. Don't do that. If you want to go ahead and just do his belly, okay, so that's his main belly attack. You know, that's just his main attack. And then if you go ahead and jump in the air and press circle, he does a butt stomp. Now double jump in the air and press circle. Belly slam. In the original game, he would belly slam no matter which jump you did. In this game, you do a butt stomp with 1 and a belly slam from 2. That's something they added for this game that's not in the original, which I really appreciate. I think that's a really cool idea, and I wish they had, you know, maybe implemented a few more of those, because Sandy also has some differences, but we won't be seeing her for another level yet, so we'll get there when we get there. One thing I really do wish is that they gave Patrick his cartwheel from the movie game, but unfortunately that did not end up happening. Another thing Patrick can do that the other characters cannot do is pick up and throw fruit. So what you can do is you can press the shoulder button to pick up a watermelon and then you can throw it. However, they are on timers, so they do not last forever, which means you do need to be kind of quick with it. You don't want to switch right now. You want to be Patrick for this section. That's just a random cowboy dude. But yeah, you can pick up the fruit and throw it. And then something they also added for this game that's not in the original is those reticles there. In the original game, those reticles would not show up. You just kind of had to wait for a hand icon to show up that would point at what you were aiming for, and that didn't lock onto platforms like it did for you previously, which is another nice addition that I think makes the game better. I see a lot of people are divided on this because there are some things that people like and some things that people hate. A lot of people are very torn on the physics of the game because it does not control like the original game. I've also already noticed some odd changes, like I mentioned, and some not so odd changes. That's going to send you back up there. But I'll probably have a more solid opinion of the game as our playthrough goes on. So what I'm saying now may not, you know, I may like this game less or I may like it more by the end. Who knows? I'll have to play through it for myself to find out. Dang, what did he do?
He
Hey,
existed.
you barnacle head! Watch where you're going!
The rock is talking to me. Almighty Rock, I am at your command.
Down here, you big pink lummox!
Oh, hi there, Mr. Plankton. Are you going to vaporize me today?
So very tempting. Unfortunately, I found myself in the undesirable position of having to assist you.
I was in an undesirable position yesterday, and now my neck hurts.
Heed my words, my large future minion. Go into Jellyfish Cave. Follow the instructions on the signs that you see. At the end of the caves, you'll still be a big pink idiot, but you'll know enough to help defeat the robots and get me back into the chum bucket.
Well, then will you vaporize me?
I might spare your life so I can force you to work in my sweatshop making low-quality design and knockoff wallets.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, let's see. So if you want to go ahead and slam on that button there.
Violence?
Yep. Let's see. So Patrick is probably my least favorite character in the game, if only because he doesn't have the same move diversity as SpongeBob, and he also doesn't have the movement capabilities of Sandy. He's just kind of there for me.
He feels like a really heavy character to like maneuver.
Yeah, he's meant to be. He's meant to be a heavier character.
Yeah,
I don't know.
man,
The
man,
throwing.
dirty.
I wish there was a little bit more to him. Like, I think the movie game does a better job of making Patrick fun to play because, again, that cartwheel move really makes him a lot of fun. Sadly, that's not in this game, so we don't have that feature. But I don't know. The throwing just doesn't do it for me. It's very slow and clunky. And it's, you know, that was in the original game too, so it's, you know, it is what it is. I don't think it's necessarily bad, but those spikes are a different color in the original game, which is interesting. But you also cannot break those floating tikis as Patrick with a vertical based attack. You can only break them by throwing something, which again SpongeBob is able to do because he has the bubble bash. But yeah, what do you think of Patrick so far?
I don't really care for him, honestly. Not really a fan. He's really hard to maneuver, you know? And the throwing aspect is just... doesn't do it for me, man.
Yeah, I will say that the nice thing is Patrick is the least common character in the game. There are 9 levels in the game that you can play, and SpongeBob is playable in all of them, and then levels alternate between Patrick and Sandy. So one level Patrick is playable in, and then another Sandy's playable in. You can't play as all 3 in certain levels because it's just designed that way. But Sandy's playable in 5 levels, and Patrick is playable in 4. So Patrick's actually the least played character by that logic. So.
Really ball.
Alright, so this next part is teaching you a new aspect of the game. You can actually, okay, in the original game, you can actually make that first jump without even having to throw the fruit. But, I guess they changed that in this game so that you can't grab that ledge there. So this right here is basically teaching you that you can throw fruit or other items like tikis, and then you can stand on them. So if you throw that fruit there, and then you go over and jump on top of it, and then you can jump up, and you can get on top of the ledge, you know, which is cool. So if you go ahead and pick up that one, and then throw it on top of that fruit, well, okay, I don't know how you... I don't know how you manage that, but good job. No, you don't wanna fuck with that one. Well, I guess we're gonna be waiting until that other watermelon respawns, but you want to pick up that one that you're on and put it on top of the one that's sitting there. Yes, there you go. And then you can go ahead and jump up another level, and then that one you're gonna want to throw both to that spot. You know, so each level gets a little more difficult, you know, as it goes, which, you know, this game employs many great principles of game design. Also good you got that box so you can actually do this sliding sequence over again if you want to. You don't need to though, because there's actually no sock to get or anything, unlike the other one, but, you know. Sliding sequences, they are abundant in this game, and if you hit the Thunder Tikis, you do take damage, and you've already taken, well, you got one back, but you took 3 hits of damage right there, so you don't need to go back for that one, though. But if you want to go ahead and pick up that is what is known as a freezy fruit. That will freeze water and then allow you to run on it for a short period of time, so if you want to go ahead and get that sock. Another thing I noticed is that I'm pretty sure the freezy fruit actually works for 18 seconds in the original game, not 15, which is different. But if you actually want to go ahead and get another piece really quick, there's actually a purple object you can get, which is worthy of note because purple objects, it's back there if you see it, purple objects are worth the most out of any object. They are worth 50 shiny objects. So
yeah, I meant to ask that earlier. If, you know, the shiny objects, if, you know, the different colors meant different things.
Yes, so the way it works is the red objects are worth 1, the yellows are worth 2, the greens are worth 5, the blues are worth 10, and the purples are worth 50. And those are obviously the best ones out of all.
Motherfucker.
But, and then you also get more objects as you do a combo and things like that. So, you know. Another thing you can do, as this is just showing you, is you can pick up fruit and throw them at enemies. So you can go ahead and do that. But again, these enemies will endlessly respawn until you destroy the Duplicatotron. So there you go.
Fuck you guys.
Another thing you can do that you're actually gonna have to do up here is you can stun bigger enemies to pick up and throw. So if you do your ground slam without landing on them, like get closer. Well, don't get too close that they hit you, but you know, ground slam next to them. Not on them, but next to them. Not on them, but next to them. There you go. You stun that enemy, and then you can pick him up and throw him at the switch, but you're dead, so.
No!
I will say, one thing that's disappointing is that I was kind of hoping they would improve the animation of the enemies spawning in when they come out of the duplicates. Do you see that pop in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the issue I was talking about. But one thing I wish they improved was the animation for the enemies spawning in. Because in the original game, you would literally just see this black sphere pop out, and then the enemy would just pop up. In this game, they at least have the decency of giving you like this, I guess it looks like a can or something. As we're about to see right there. That thing, I guess it's a can or whatever, it's the head of the enemy. There you go, so pick that enemy up.
I pressed the wrong button.
You need to do a body slam. There you go. Pick that enemy up and throw him at the bottom.
I don't think SpongeBob's underwear
There you go.
fits quite right.
And then you can go ahead and get that golden spatula. So break the thing and then get... Or, no, never mind. A fun thing I like to do is hit the duplicated Tron and then get the golden spatula because you're invincible while you have the golden spatula. So you get this like explosion after you get the golden spatula, but it's no big deal. So if you want to go ahead and go through that gate, we'll move on to the third area of the level, Jellyfish, whatever it was. Jellyfish Hills, was it?
Jellyfish
I think that's
popping
what it was.
pills and shrinking tartar sauce.
Ahoy there! Squidward tells me
Oh,
you're looking for
that
the
looks
king
bad.
jellyfish.
I don't think they shoved the
Yes.
tikis behind him.
Good thing, too.
Hey, what was
That
that one
monster's
guy?
been
The
stinging all my
fucking
good
green
customers in their
sea
room
pit,
decks.
sea cucumber?
I hear that you
Larry,
can find
the
him
sea
up top of
cucumber?
Old Sport
I
Mountain
don't
here.
know. He was a
Oh,
dick in that one episode.
sailor.
Yeah, I'm your biggest fanatic.
Yeah, what a douche. You know, I will never.
Or not
forgive
Larry
him.
the sea cucumber. Kevin the sea cucumber.
It was
Sorry,
Kev.
not
Fuck-
Larry. Larry's the
Fucking
lobster.
hate Kevin's.
Hi, Kevin.
I'll see what I can do.
Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Welcome to group.
Touch. I said don't touch. Touch. I said don't touch. Touch. Am I gonna have to follow you all day? So that's Tartar. He's a new enemy. He takes 2 hits to kill. So, you know, he's the first enemy to take multiple hits. He launches 3 shots of tartar sauce at you. There you go. Which is, you know, different. He's more of a projectile-based enemy and can be pretty annoying depending on the situations that he's placed in. Not nearly as bad as some other enemies, though, thankfully. But
So shiny.
yeah, so if you want to keep going, we actually have another SpongeBob character showing up right up
That's
here,
much better.
and that is none other than...
Mrs. Puff.
Hello, Patrick. I've got a job for you to do.
Oh boy.
I found a golden spatula, but those robots out on the island stole it and threw it into the lake. If you can figure out how to get it back, you're welcome to it.
Sure enough, Mrs. Puff.
Sure enough, Mrs. Puff. I reference that line all the time. So, you need Patrick to do this mission, actually, not SpongeBob. So if you want to go ahead and go in here, you've got another gauntlet type mission. You've got to basically stun these enemies and then throw them at the water fountain things that you see right there. I'm not sure why these are like water fountains. I feel like it's a really weird obstacle to want to hit, but yeah, you've got to hit the those water fountains. So you're gonna want to stun these guys, not break them.
I know, it's hard to get.
There you go. There are 5 water fountains that you need to break, by the way. And another thing that they added in this remake, which I think is better than the original game, is in the original game, the enemies just kind of came out of nowhere when they spawned in. They didn't come from a duplicated Tron. They just came from nowhere. But they actually fixed that in this version. So they're coming out of a robot, which I appreciate.
It's
You need,
hard because
well, you're
the...
putting yourself directly above them. You need to, you know, stay to the side, like right. Well, there you go. See. All right, 3 out of 5.
They're just too
The robot go
fast.
boo.
Yeah, well, not at the game.
I didn't say that.
Whatever.
So,
Don't fucking hit me.
yeah, unfortunately, if you get hit while you're carrying an enemy, you lose the stun on them.
I don't think SpongeBob's underwear fits quite right.
There you go. You got both of them. So go ahead and chuck that one there. And then you're going to want to probably go fast. Yeah, there you go. Got all 5.
Fuck you, Hammer.
The pond is drained and the golden spatula is revealed.
That's much
So
better.
just don't let that enemy kill you before you get it. There you go.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I hate Patrick.
I like Patrick. I think he's funny. Not in I mean, in this game, he's my least favorite character to play as, but I still love Patrick. He's hilarious.
I don't know. I guess since I got older, I just...
But now you're gonna want to switch over to SpongeBob.
I don't really care for, SpongeBob.